Good morning. It's the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth with the No Cap Podcast. Nate the Great and my man Kiko. How's it going, fellas? Good morning. Good morning. Good Sunday morning.
Good morning. Excellent.
Man, so I wanted to start off this podcast on a different tip. You know, I had a real eye-opening experience on Friday, and I feel like I'm a new man. You know, we all go through chapters in our life that change and create us. And sometimes we don't notice it until it's later on. I noticed it instantly.
Right away.
So let me tell you guys what happened, and I really want your opinion on it. So Friday, this wasn't the weekend with my son. My house is completely empty, right? So I'm like, you know what? I haven't seen my daughter in like 8 months. So I text her, hey, listen, I want to come pick you up. We'll spend the weekend together. We're going to go to the Puerto Rican Day Festival. I got a birthday party we're going to pull up to. I'm going to take you shopping. I got a little paper. Let daddy put some sneakers and some clothes on you. Let me get you right. You know, it's been a minute. Let's try to rekindle our bond here. So she texts me, you know what? That's a good idea.
Oh,
Pick me up.
nice.
Oh, great week. I'm at the auction. I buy one car. I recon a couple. And nothing can ruin my day. I'm just super duper excited, right? And I didn't tell you guys this yet. So I went and waited for this moment. So I drove to her school, which is an hour away from my job, an hour and a half away from my house, mind you. I drive to her school. I'm sitting in the parking lot waiting for her to get out, and I'm scrolling through TikTok. And I see where you had called me and told me Shannon Sharpe left ESPN, right? So I wanted to go look and see what happened and everything, catch up with that. And I saw him crying, right? I'm like, yo, you're such a bitch. You a pussy of a man. Like, you're fucking, ooh. Like, I was just furious at this big grown man crying, right?
Right.
So as I'm watching the videos, I get a text from my daughter. And I'm like, ooh, she about to come out. Jump out the car, turn it off, looking for her. I don't read the text. I'm just looking for her. Then I read the text. I changed my mind. I'm going to hang out with mom this weekend.
Ouch.
Dog, I waited in that parking lot for 3 hours for her. I got back in my truck. I drove home and I cried, right? And I was like, yo, Shannon Sharpe, I'm sorry. Like, I forget sometimes we're human, right? And I wanted this podcast to be so perfect that I rode you guys hard. And I forgot the root of what I wanted here. And what I wanted was, I watch a lot of podcasts, and I know you guys don't. And you know what they're always missing? The human element. It's like they're not real people. And you are the two realest humans I knew. And we've had the best conversations. But I'm so busy trying to get you to be Joe Rogan and Theo Vaughn that I forgot I got Nate the fucking Great in the building. Do you know who this man is? I got my fucking Junior over here. Do you know who these guys are? You know how many problems you've kept me out of prison? You don't even know. I gotta call, yo, Nate, am I tripping, bro?
You not tripping.
You done kept me out of prison.
You not tripping.
You've kept me in business. Hey, bro, I'm about to crash out and buy this car because this stupid motherfucker's looking at me. And I forgot the greatness y'all brought because I was too busy trying to be somebody else. So I just wanted to say I'm sorry. I'm human. We gonna roll from here.
Yeah, you know that's a real moment though. We appreciate that. You know, the fact that you can even share that, because you know we all know Rob's a tough guy. You know what I'm saying? He get active real quick. It's the first thing he's willing to do, which is it's respectable that you can say you know, that you cried at that moment because you were the most vulnerable at that moment. You know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, that's gonna make you stronger, brother. You know what I'm saying?
You know, it wasn't even a regular cry, right? I was boogers coming out. I text my baby mom. I'm like, you puss ass bitch. I hope you die. If I see your husband, I'm gonna fuck him up on sight. I'm just losing like all function in my body.
Did you really do that though?
Yeah.
You texted her and crashed out.
Yeah.
Did she respond?
No, she left me on red. That made it worse.
I think. See, I think, and that's the thing about women, right? Like they know the button, they know what, like how to press us. You know what I mean? Rob's over here going ham, and she not even looking at him,
right?
You know, and I think that goes back to like LeBron, real quick. LeBron doing Kevin Gates. When you said Kevin Gates won, I looked at the interview as Kevin Gates lost because LeBron didn't even look at him. He wanted the thirst. He wanted the smoke. My man, he was left on red.
You know, when you put it in that perspective, maybe. Nate, you ain't never got into a beef with your lady, right? And you text her some wild, crazy shit. Bitch, whose dick you sucking? Why the fuck you ain't answer my call? Right? Tell that fuck nigga to pay your phone bill.
She wake up, she was sleeping the whole time.
Right? And then she wake up and she hit you with the K. What the fuck you mean, K? You dead ass. Where you at? You know? And that's what happened.
Yo, I ain't never did.
Never? Oh, I'm a different kind of dude then, bro.
But you know, I want to tap on that LeBron joint. You know, it's crazy. A lot of people say, yo, I just want to see, you know, equal playing field. I want to see the same thing he did to Stephen Smith.
Stephen
Smith to, you know, what he did.
He might as well have been Stephen Smith after he got stepped too, but go ahead.
But you know, people don't. So if you want to make it fair, right? So bring it back. You know, LeBron said Kevin Gates was a peasant. He never said that to Stephen Smith. So obviously he has respect for Stephen Smith. Obviously he does not have respect for Kevin Gates.
Fair enough.
So if we're gonna keep it on a playing the same playing field, that's why he ain't say nothing to that man.
Well, we're all playing devil's advocate here, right? When you look at it from the perspective of a woman's situation and them leaving you on red and hurting you more, you're right? You're also right. You know, he didn't internet diss you. He kind of took it to you as a man and we don't know what went on in that moment. You know?
Correct. But, you know,
it could have been a good conversation.
But, you know, everybody want to keep it on an even playing field.
You know, I think the perception is right because you got the perception of you being a pussy. You didn't step to him. He came to your shop and you didn't say nothing. That's your perception as a man. Why didn't you step to that man who came to your shop? And then the other flip side of that coin is, hey, my man, he didn't get no attention from me. That's how I feel about. That's how a boss handles. That's a boss mentality, right? Like I'm not even going to give him the attention that he's earning for. Therefore, I win. And therefore, he manipulated the situation like a woman did, unfortunately. A woman would do that.
You know, I would disagree with that boss mentality because, you know, you've had some situations where you guys have this imaginary ego trip going where I'm going to let it ride because it costs me less to let it ride. No, man. Boss speak their mind.
But that's not an ego thing. See, the ego thing is you saying, I'm not going to let it ride for $10. I'm not going to let it ride for $20. Let me tell you something.
That's principle.
For $20, you out of my life.
I know. You say that because you're
you call it a pussy. Yeah. You know, say it like say it with your chest.
Good.
You're a pussy. That's what you want to say.
Good. No, that's not what I want to say.
Okay, what do you want to say then?
You're a timid man.
Timid.
If I wanted to say it, I would.
For $20, I get you out of my life. And you want to call me timid, I want to look at it as intelligent.
But is the problem's worth the $20 coming behind?
To me, it's the principle behind it. It's always worth it. Always. I've never seen a situation where it's not.
But that's why it's a crash out tendency, right? That's why you're going to crash out.
Someone who's timid would say crash out. Someone who's stoic would say it's principle.
But you claim, and it's fact, right? You have 11 felonies, right? On those 11 times, you've crashed out.
None of those were
crash outs.
None of those were crash outs.
So anytime you get arrested,
I got an armed robbery because I knew I wanted a car.
That's a crash out.
That's not.
That's a crash out.
No, that's a criminal activity.
Because you wanted a car, you stole a car. That's a crash out.
No, it had nothing to do with my ego.
Okay, so what was the next one?
I had possession of tampering with evidence because I had a bunch of fucking. You guys won't believe it. I got arrested for Viagra. I used to sell Viagra, right? So I had a pill.
The neighborhood drug dealer sells Viagra, yo. You can get weed and your dick hard up in this motherfucker.
My grandfather used to give Viagra by the prescription, and he didn't need it.
Ooh.
So I
gold mine. How much are Viagras, by the way?
You know, I don't know what they are today. I was selling them then. This was 2010, $20 a pill.
Wow, not bad.
Because you know, you go to the store, you buy the dick pill for $10. I was a dub.
And it's a generic joint. Yeah.
Some
La Bella.
You know,
from Dominican Republic.
Horny goat weed and shit. Remember that?
Now they got the honey bags.
Oh, I don't know. I take aspirin. Aspirin works.
Yeah, because you put the bitch to sleep.
Oh, man.
Yo, but so he gave
$20 a pill of Viagra, so you have Viagra.
Prescription, right? And I ripped the label off. I get pulled over, right? And I don't know this is illegal, right? So the cop pulled me over, and for the first time in my life, I'm legit.
You don't
I-
have no drugs.
No drugs. My tag is good. I ain't got no pistol in the car. My license valid. It's my car. So I'm like, yo, what up, officer? He's like, man, you got to step out the car. I said, I know. I get out.
You're ready for
Yeah,
this.
I'm ready. They do this all the time. He goes, I'm going to search it. Duh. So, right? So he grabbed a pill bottle. He's shaking. It was in the cup holder. You going to jail. I said, for what? That's Viagra. It's a controlled substance. Man, stop playing with me. Right? I tell him, stop playing. And I know this cop, he's regular. I'm like, bro, stop playing with me. Take a couple for yourself and your lady. Enjoy
You're
your
so
night.
funny.
Let me go on my way.
You're so funny.
Bro, they fucking took me to jail for that.
for
For Viagra,
for having
a
Viagra.
controlled substance.
But he didn't believe. He believed it was Viagra.
Yeah, but it's a controlled substance
How is
Yeah.
Viagra a control?
because you need a prescription to get it. I couldn't believe it. So I went to jail, bonded out, and I was in college at the time. And I was gonna lose my scholarship.
That case didn't hold up, did it?
Yeah, I had to plead out to tampering with evidence.
You had to plead out on
Felony tampering with evidence.
Why couldn't you? Why do you open your mouth? Why couldn't you say it's my grandfather's?
I
pill?
didn't know it was illegal.
It don't
So
matter.
you? Oh,
It
so
don't
you
matter
took?
who you say it is. It's
No,
still-
but
but
it
if
don't
you,
matter.
no,
no.
no.
Once the label's off, it
Once
doesn't
the-
matter.
Oh,
Yeah.
once the
Once the
label's
label's
off.
off
If
the
you would have left the
bottle.
label on,
They
it's
got
my
it.
But you still gonna get in trouble because it don't
Yeah.
say his name on it.
You can still get in trouble. I'm a
Yeah.
convicted felon. I can't, interact. But none of those are ego trips.
he can't interact with Dick Bill.
But an ego trip would be like, like what happened with Kevin Gates and LeBron. We beefing on the internet. I pull up to your job and whoop your ass.
Right.
That's an ego trip.
Well, I think Kevin Gates had a little bit of ego by just even popping out and showing up to his spot, wanting some smoke. He was looking for it.
He was, Kevin Gates, I love him, but he a weirdo.
Yeah,
He's
For
a
sure.
real weirdo. I like that he pulled up. It was entertaining.
it was gangster.
The internet went crazy.
It was a little gangster.
It was thugged out.
He spiked up his sales. I'm sure increased.
His streams are killing it right now.
I'm sure.
He had LeBron a little look shook. That's all the internet's talking about, right? I think LeBron is loved to be hated. People love him and hate him.
I think that it's chasing clout. At the end of the day, that's all Kevin Gates was doing. And we talk about it all the time. I don't chase clout. I don't chase clout. He just clearly chased it in front of the whole world. And that's who he is. That's just
Is it clout chasing when that's your job?
it's his job to clout chase. He's
His
just a
job
rapper.
His job is to be relevant.
If
Is
you're a celebrity,
That's their job, right? Was Kim Kardashian clout chasing when she put out a sex tape?
Oh, not at all.
That's just her job. Your job is to be relevant.
Did she put that out? I thought that was Ray J put that out.
They put it out.
they
They all got
her
paid on that.
her mom put it out.
So is that clout
The
chasing?
family put it out 100%. They went for the gusto. They went for the money.
I think we abuse the word clout chasing. Your job as a celebrity is to stay relevant.
But let's be facts. Kim Kardashian is the ultimate clout chaser, right? Because that's how she gets paid. Like this is what she does for a living.
No, pause.
No. Hold on. Before all of being a lawyer and all of this entrepreneur and owning a business, what did she really do? Nobody knew, right? It was putting out a sex tape was what she was known for that clout. Therefore, she took that clout and made it what, $1 billion business?
Fair, but you can't say she's the biggest. You know who's bigger than her?
Who?
Kanye West.
Ooh.
Who does more goofy shit than him?
Well, I think he's,
Nah.
she's the originator. Yeah.
Yo,
Kim Kardashian
you
by
can't-
far
you
broke
can't-
the internet.
Yeah.
Kim
Kim
K broke the
Kanye
internet.
Got further.
What's the last thing
His
Kim's done?
status got further when he got with
No.
Kardashian.
Kim, listen, Kanye is a maniac, right? He's way past normal.
When you
That's
talk
what
about
he's
clout
saying.
chasing, he was in a Klan's robe.
Yeah, but I'm talking about his status.
Yeah, to do
No,
an interview.
status-
I
To
don't
do
think
an
his status
interview.
would have jumped the way it is if
No.
he wasn't with Kim Kardashian.
He was bigger than Kim.
Nah, hell
When he
No way.
first was with her,
Yeah.
no.
they were neck and neck out.
Kanye's huge.
Now, yeah, he's
Now he's
He's always been
but he's
huge.
not big enough.
Kanye's always been huge. But that's the argument is who's the biggest clout chaser, right? We're not saying who caught the most clout.
Correct.
She caught the most
Oh,
clout.
she don't
fair
clout.
enough,
She don't
fair
clout no
enough.
more. She don't clout.
Yeah,
no
no,
more.
she caught it
She
all.
caught
She
it
got,
and
she
it's
got
over.
Billy's.
She's done.
Yeah. She's done
She
chasing.
was the original
She done
Housewives
chasing
of
it.
LA type shit.
Yeah.
She set paths for those, and her show went on forever.
You know, the clout chasers are the guys now. You look at Aaron Plummer. I'll say Kevin Gates is a clout chaser.
I wouldn't
really
say
do.
that. I wouldn't say that.
You know why I say that? Because I told you this the other day when he asked me. And this is honest to God truth. You can give me $1 million right now. I could not name one Kevin Gates song, guys. I couldn't name one. Therefore, to me, he's clout chasing because I don't know him.
That's fair. You know what? You brought up a good point. Oh my God, I slipped my tongue. When we were talking about staying relevant, right? Fuck. Move on. I forgot.
And who stays relevant? Nobody's relevant.
No, we were
forever.
talking about Aaron the Plumber and Charleston White, because Charleston White said if he ever falls off the stream, he can go to jail.
Yeah.
You know, and pick up. But you know,
you got to give it to Charleston White. He actually keeps the momentum going somehow, and
he knows the
still,
algorithm.
he's still getting paid to do these, you know, whatever podcasts, the YouTube 50 for 1 videos.
They want what he gonna speak on it. That's
Because he gonna crash out.
Because he's chasing clout every time he's on.
You know, this is what it is.
I mean, it's facts though. You know, everybody has their own opinion about.
This is what you told me. You can't listen to certain rappers because they're not real. Right? You remember you told me that? It's hard when they rap about shit and they never lived it.
Correct.
All right. So Kevin Gates is a gangster rapper, right? Man, we could hear you swallow.
I didn't know he was a gangster. Again, I've never heard his
I know.
songs.
That's why I'm asking Nate. Stay in your corner.
I guess you could say that.
Right? He's a gangster rapper.
Yeah.
He did some gangster shit.
Yeah.
So he did what he supposed to do, right? See, LeBron fucked up because you're an athlete. Shut up and dribble. And he didn't. He wanted to get gangster back. And then gangster came to your house. And then now
Hey, so wait.
we shut up and dribbled.
Wait. You saying LeBron wanted to get gangster back?
Yeah.
By just tweeting out, just making a tweet, he was being gangster. I
Yeah.
didn't think he was doing being gangster.
It's called Twitter fingers. It's an actual verb.
Oh, so you can be a Twitter finger gangster.
Mhm.
Oh, see,
An internet
this
thug.
new millennial, this new generation got me twisted, brother. Because
Internet
gangsters
thugs.
don't come from the internet, from where I'm from.
Well, you're 50 years old. We live in a different generation. The internet's everything.
I mean, to you it is.
Look, hold on. Pause, right? You call rappers gangster because they make thug ass poetry. Like, what are we talking about?
I never called him a gangster.
You just said he was a gangster rapper.
Who?
Kevin Gates.
No, you guys said he was a gangster rapper. I said I never heard his music to call him a gangster rapper.
Oh, fair, my bad.
Exactly.
But it's all poetry, right? Whether you're dropping it on a cassette or streaming it on the internet, it's poetry.
Oh, a rapper is a poet. Yes.
Yeah,
Yes,
so-
yeah, I agree. A rapper is a poet.
If you want to go down that rabbit hole, none
You know,
of them are gangster.
a rapper is a poet, and none of them are gangster. You are 100% right. Where rap came from, and people don't know I'm old enough to know this, is rappers would see guys on the block in the early 80s, late 70s, making money and seeing them flaunt with jewelry and cars and clothes, and rappers would talk about that lifestyle.
I don't believe that.
That's all it was.
The original rappers were gangsters, man.
No, yes. No, the original rappers were talking about gangsters.
So, from what I know, the original rappers were
Who?
Ice Cube and them boys.
NWA?
Yeah, they was handling,
Well,
Eazy-E was
NWA
getting
didn't
funky.
come out to late 80s.
So who was before them?
It was up north. Rakim, my man knows. DJ Hurt, all those,
Oh.
original Bronx 70s. And rap started from the Bronx, but you didn't know that.
I didn't.
Yeah, see, because you hate people from New York, because
I
you're
hate
from
'em.
Miami, you're from the dirty South.
Not because I'm from Miami, because the people from New York.
Why
are
do
full
you
of-
hate the people from New York so much? That's what I want to know.
Because they're full of shit. They're hands-
Everybody's full of shit, though. You're from Miami, you're full of shit, right? Anybody can say that, right? You can say you from Atlanta, you're full of shit. Anybody could say that.
Listen, my buddy asked me the other day, do I believe in stereotypes, right? Yeah, stereotypes were created for a reason, right? Like, are black people loud? 100%. Right?
But what's the percentage?
I've never met, except for Nate, that's not loud. Nate and Shaq.
So I think Nate is Shaq in his spare time. He's the FedEx version. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, man.
All right, look, I'm gonna break down a couple stereotypes.
No. But you're saying black people are loud. How
Hold up.
many percent? What's the percentage of black people that are
I
loud?
just told you, everybody except for Nate and Shaq.
That's 99%. 99.9%.
Look, true or not true, Puerto Rican women are crazy.
100%.
Look at that. Fuck that. Fuck that.
That's because I'm Puerto Rican. I can tell you.
Yeah, right?
My experiences can tell you that.
Let's be fair. Mexicans are short, right?
Most of them.
The stereotype fits. The exception is not the rule, right? So, where were we going with this?
You're saying what's the percentage of stereotypes? That's what I was trying to get at. I get it. The stereotypes are the majority of Mexicans are short. I get it. What's the percentage?
I don't know. I don't know the percentage. I'm gonna lie to you, but I would say most.
Most.
Because when you see a tall one, you're like, oh shit, he's a tall Mexican. Right?
It's a rare sight, right?
Oh, damn.
It's like an Asian with ass. Where'd she come from?
Yeah. Oh, I don't know about all that. I don't know that stereotype. Let me stay in my lane over here.
You only know stereotypes.
Yo, but what were we prefacing this with? What path were we headed down? I brought on stereotypes.
Oh man,
All y'all forgot, huh?
Yeah, you lost me on that one. You lost me on that one, brother. Talk about men only.
No, that's all I know is men stereotypes. But stereotypes are a true thing, right? It's
no, for the most part, black people are dark, Spanish people are Spanish,
what?
white people are white. Those are the stereotypes.
That's not a stereotype. That's an observational fact.
Well, I mean, that's what you're putting them in categories, right?
No, a stereotype is a stereotype.
Stereotypes, you're putting them in a category. That's what you're doing.
What's the category? Loud is a category.
Yeah.
Right.
For example, all black people are loud.
Yeah.
They're
Except
all.
for Nate and Shaq. You gotta make sure you say that. Nate is quiet as a leprechaun. You gotta be on the phone with Nate. I gotta put my volume up. I'm like, is my phone working?
Yo, Nate, hit the keypad. Let me know you're there.
I'd be like, Nate, hello.
Oh man.
Yes, Robert. Oh shit, man. But it's been a good week, man. How y'all feeling?
Excellent.
You know what I saw yesterday on my news feed this whole week? I know you don't watch sports, Robert, but Shedeur Sanders, which is the kid of Deion Sanders. I know you know who Deion Sanders is. You are old enough.
Yeah, but I don't.
Anyway, so he was Nate, he was projected to be a top draft pick, which is one. There's only 32 teams, so they have 32 picks in the first round. He was supposed to be in that first round, first of 32. He didn't go till number 144. Unfortunately, what happened was, since he didn't get picked, they made the whole draft about him not being picked. So it was annoying to watch because all they kept talking about was this guy that they're not picking, why they're not picking him. They're not talking about these new kids that are getting picked and their life's going to change and their dreams are forever. You know what I mean? Like, they were just talking about how this kid was getting picked, and it was just...
You know what fucked me up about the draft? You're right. I don't watch sports, but the draft did pop up on the feed, right? You had all these liberal white women saying the draft sucks and it's not good for the children because it reminds them of slavery. I said, yo, what slavery did you witness that handed them $50 million out the gate, a mansion in the hills, and a better life? But that was trending all through my thing. All these fat, ugly, old white women. That's like slavery. This is so bad. We have to do something about it. And I was like, yo, this is a bad observation, man. Would you have felt like that? You've seen the draft.
I've seen it, but I didn't picture it like that. Like,
right?
What made them think that was they went deep.
Like, yo, that's crazy. You ain't never got picked for kickball. That's how you pick a team, bro.
You never played on them sports, dude.
These are all the bitches that got picked last. This shit, they hating. Oh, he went first. He was the first slave. No, bitch. He's the one who get paid the most.
But they what ultimately happened was, once he got picked, everybody went back and tried to find a reason why. And all of a sudden, there's collusion. These guys all got together not to draft this young black man because he's too loud. That's the whole reasoning why he fell off, supposedly, is because, he brings a social media presence. Yeah. His father's Deion. They're going to want this, and that. It's too much of a distraction. Now he's bringing too much to the table.
Let me ask you a question, right? I just heard you say this young black man. I haven't seen a football game in, I don't know, 7 to 10 years.
Okay.
Are the teams not majority black anymore?
No, it's still white guys.
I know, but I said majority.
Um,
Majority is black, right?
in football,
So
I
why would you make it a race thing, saying the young black man?
It wasn't a race thing. I was just pointing out that that's
Why did his color have anything to do with it?
because that's the perception they were bringing.
Who?
When
If
they
90% of the people got drafted are black,
no.
black ain't the issue.
Yeah, but 100% of the league is owned by white men. Let's not get it twisted. 90% might be run by the players, but 100% is owned by white owners. There's not a minority owner. There's not one person in power of color. So yes, when I talk about young black men, it's because they're being controlled by a rich white man. And here's the truth.
Hold on.
Hold on.
Let me
Before
touch on that.
go ahead.
What do you mean controlled? Hey, I'm going to give you millions, hundreds of millions of dollars to play every day.
See, this is what he does. This is what I'm gonna give you some clues.
You got to ask the black guy. How do you feel about that?
Let me give you the truth. All right. The truth is this. The players are trying to take control now. Remember, this is a $1 billion industry, and they have the owners have all the money they distribute to the players, right? Players make 50 million. How much are the owners making?
It's not your business.
But listen, this is how it works. All right. They pay the players to play for them and perform. The players are bringing their own now, right?
They're on what?
Their own circus. They're trying to take control of their own contract. They want to determine where they go, who they play for, all of that. If you're the man with all the money, you're telling them what to do. They're not telling you what to do. So it's a play for power. They're trying to control the owners and to dictate where they want to go. Players don't dictate where they want to go normally. You know, only certain leagues. You know who the basketball, for example, if LeBron James wanted to go somewhere, he would force his way out tomorrow, and he would be on that team tomorrow because the NBA owners are what you call simps in the game. The NFL owners are not allowing the players to have any control. This is a little bit too big for you to understand, but at the end of the day, that's them putting him in his place.
What are you talking about, big man? I'm 100 times smarter than you. Fuck you, business is business, right? Does your detailer ask you how much money you make a month?
What?
Does your detailer ask you how much money you make?
No.
Because it's not his fucking business. If I make $100 billion and I say, yo, Nate, you want to drive a truck? I'll pay you $100,000 a year. And you say, yeah. Does it matter? Do you give a fuck how much money FedEx makes? They cut your check.
Yeah, but this is a union. No, the players' union. No. What you're saying is, yeah, that's not how it works. Okay, it's the players' union and the bosses, the owners, right? They are struggling for power, right? Because yes, while I don't give a fuck how much you make, if there's billions of dollars and you're only distributing millions of dollars, I want a bigger piece of that pie.
Let me tell you something.
And that's what they're fighting for.
This is a fact, mister. You're smarter than everybody.
I'm just giving you facts.
Who's bigger than the NFL?
Nobody.
All of you motherfuckers can be replaced today.
Nobody.
That's what
That's what the owners are pointing out.
And guess what?
That's what the owners are saying.
My viewers will go up because everybody wants to see what's going to happen. There's nobody in the league that matters.
See, you know, people. That's not true.
Yeah, the San Diego.
What do you mean by that?
The San Diego Chargers will have their fans forever, whether they have Brett Favre or not.
Fair, but they will lose fans. You'll lose them. Yeah. You don't keep every fan forever.
It's not a big deal. It's not a big deal.
Okay.
Green Bay has had the number one fan base since the inception of the
number one fan base, according to who?
According to statistics.
To a Green Bay fan.
No, Nate. Green
Bay.
No. So who's the best fans? Pick a team. Then I don't watch football.
Each team has a, you know, you could say the Giants have the best fans. You
can
say
Giants.
Philly. Let's pick the champions, the Phillies.
All right.
They have the ultimate fans.
The Philly Rays, right? They have
the Eagles.
Oh, my bad.
Tampa Bay Rays. Philly. We really don't know that about
the Philadelphia Eagles. If they got another, how many players on the team? 15?
No, it's 32 players, I think.
If they got a whole new set of 32, they still got their fans, buddy.
No, they'll lose some fans.
They're not going to lose enough to matter. First of all,
Says you.
payroll's gonna get cut
Says
by
you.
90%, right?
You know,
we don't got no more 50
No, no.
million a year motherfuckers on the league.
no. Let me break it down to you. That's not right. And I'll give you a basketball. Luka Doncic got traded from the Mavericks to the Lakers, right?
Yep.
That was bad.
How much money?
Real bad.
How much money did Dallas lose by trading off their best player?
I don't think anything.
How many? Hold on. How many season ticket holders asked for their money back? Right?
There is
How
no
much? How much
refunds.
tickets? There is refunds. Look it up.
On a
These are
season
facts.
ticket?
Yes. They've traded away their number one asset. You think the people aren't mad? You think they didn't protest? You think they didn't?
I'm gonna look this
You
up.
didn't think it didn't affect their wallet? Look it up
I
because
don't
you
think
will
they-
learn something today.
I know, and you're gonna buck whatever it says, you know. But look,
Well, let's type in what you're gonna say though.
yo,
What are you gonna
so
say?
Steven put me up on something, and y'all gonna have to fill in the blanks here. You guys watch college football?
A little bit.
One of the quarterbacks wanted too much money, and then it didn't happen for him. Y'all know anything about that?
College football doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, he got paid, and he didn't want. Forget it.
See, you don't know what you're talking about.
They're working new endorsements with college.
Yeah,
to
no.
get paid.
College football players get an NIL deal, which is a likeliness. They get paid off of their likeliness. That's why Shador Sanders was a millionaire before he even got drafted because he had an NIL deal that was paying him millions of dollars to go to school and play football. You know, that's what it comes down to. But the fact is the facts, and I gave you the facts, and that's why you're gonna learn today. At the end of the day, they're fighting for power, guys. That's what it comes down to. That's why the players union.
Wow, you are 100% right. They're gonna lose $100 million on the trade.
At least.
Yeah.
At least.
Wow.
At least.
Merchandise sponsorship. Why would they trade him then? Yo, if he was worth $100 million loss,
He's
how much
worth
was
a
this-
billion.
How much
They
is this guy
lost
getting
$1
paid?
billion by trading away
thought they was
one
gonna
player.
This year, but everybody got hurt.
Who'd they trade him for?
Anthony Davis.
I don't know why.
Is he good?
He is
if
good,
He was,
but he got
healthy,
hurt.
If he have no injuries, he's a monster.
He's a
Better than
different
Luka?
player.
Oh,
No.
Yes. If he wasn't
No.
no injuries, yeah, he's way better than Luka.
No.
Yes. Scoring machine.
Listen, Luka Doncic has been all pro, all number one team for the last 5 years. Anthony Davis hasn't.
Yes, because Anthony Davis been hurt.
Yeah, fair
every
enough.
year,
And he's a
every
good
year.
player,
So
but
he's
he's
not
not
a good
He
better.
player.
was 100%.
He's not better than
like
Luka.
Luka. Oh yeah, he's
But that
better
would
than
have, could have, should have. He's not. He sucks if he's always hurt.
Luka.
Yeah.
He's always hurt.
Yeah.
Damn. It's like a fighter with a glass jaw. It don't matter how good you are, dog. You steady hitting that canvas, brother.
That's it. That's it.
Yeah.
Did you see that knockout last night?
Yes. The right
Brutal
hook.
knockout. The Davis,
Which one?
he was a Jamaican. The white boy kept coming
Yeah.
and coming and
Blam.
coming. Yo, he was a zombie out there. The white boy didn't want to go down. He was a guy. He's one of those guys that never been knocked out. He loses fights, but he never gets knocked out because he's a warrior, bro. He was getting pounded. They were fighting in the middle of the night, put him to sleep. It was a great knockout.
But yo, this is why it bothered me earlier when you were talking about his walkout was corny, bruh. Fighting is it's a mind fuck. You don't remember you know you've been in a fight. You motherfucking talking shit. You start getting nervous. Your heart beating. Your lips get dry. Your ears turn red. Right? Imagine feeling like that for 2 months.
Yo, that is crazy.
You can't sleep.
That's
Are you
crazy.
sweating? Like you're like, yo, am I doing enough? Like this shit is brutal, dog.
Yeah, no, I get it.
Did you see the fight where the guy was 6'1" and the other one's 5'5", the little Asian dude versus the big tall black dude with dreads?
I didn't see that one.
Bro, it had me so mad. Usually the UFC lines them up height for height.
What weight was that?
I want to say like 145.
Why is he 6 foot fighting at 145?
You know, I don't know, but bro, the guy was hitting him from here. You know what
Way
I'm
back
saying?
there.
Like, yo, the little guy had to get in, but he didn't get knocked out. He held his own, landed a Nala knife. But it bothered me to see him get dominated. I hate dominant fights.
Well, you know, if you really want to talk UFC, when it first opened up, there was no weight classes.
Yeah.
I'm so old. I remember watching UFC 1. I remember Hoist Gracie versus Kimbo was his name. Was it Kimbo?
I don't know.
No, but I remember part 1. There was no weight classes. There was a guy that was 150 pounds, and he was going against a 400-pound sumo fighter. Like it was the real deal. It was. Let's see who the best is.
You know, George St. Pierre had a good one. He goes, the UFC shouldn't have rounds. It'd be a real fight without rounds.
It'd be a real fight.
There's no save by the bell. Hold on for 3 more seconds. Nah, bro, it's done. It's done. Hey, you swallow loud.
You know, but you know who used to fight like that? It was Pride. Pride Fighting had a 15-minute first round,
Yeah, something like
20-minute
that.
first round, and then it would go into another round. I liked that idea better. Now, if we're gonna fight for 20 minutes, let's see who the better man is.
That's it. No rounds.
That's what I'm saying. The 5 minutes
I
gives you a
think
break.
I think a lot of shit should change in the UFC. I heard somebody talk. No, this is bothering me. I'm sorry, I touched it. I see them saying, you know how they grab the cage, deduct 2 points right away. Nobody will do it again. Right away.
That's a lot, though.
You don't.
You're
touch-
in the moment.
You're not.
But you shouldn't be grabbing that. That's
You're not. You're not.
I
in the
know,
moment.
but you're about to get slammed. You're not gonna grab something.
I've been there. You're not.
You're not supposed to.
You're not.
Because that's saving yourself.
Yeah, you're not.
100%.
See, I got weak hands, right? My fingers break easy, so I never grab the cage because I'll break a finger.
Just by grabbing it?
Yeah.
Wow.
Cause like, yo, I'm gonna grab it. You got a motherfucking Sasquatch like this dude picking you up to drop you. It's a lot of force.
You guys. Yeah. No.
It's a lot of force. You'll see guys come out of the cage that grab them. Their hands are all red and like the white one. Deep in there.
Yeah.
Nah, man, you know what you're doing. Just like when you hold your foot on it, you cheating, bro. You cheating, low key. You cheating. Like, dog, if you on top of me, I'll pinch your stomach.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
That's the thing. Like, there's no like rules to it.
But
like
that's why.
we're fighting. Like it's
That's
figure
why.
it out.
No, that's why if you deducted 2 points, it wouldn't happen.
Yeah, but would you deduct 2 points if I pinched your asshole?
You got to see me do it. But like an eye poke should be a point. Because they tell you keep your hands closed.
Well, that's why they had the new gloves, and then they
There was eye pokes last night.
because they took away the new gloves and put the old ones back on. You didn't know that?
But an eye poke is an eye poke.
That's fair.
It don't matter what glove you got on your hand. You fight open, it's faster, whatever. But it should be duck point. Like in boxing, if a motherfucker hits you in the nuts, it shouldn't be a 5-minute wait. It should be 2 points for the round. Because you won't do it again. You don't want to lose 2 points. That'll make or break you.
Yeah,
that split decision go to unanimous real fast because a lot of fights are going to the end.
Fair enough.
But we're small. Our opinions don't fucking matter. We're just normal Joes. Hey, I didn't tell you the other day. My son asked me who my hero was, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I told him, I fucking told Nate the story. I would tell you.
I
I told him, I was like, bro, I got a fucking hero. What the fuck I look like? I'm a grown ass motherfucking man.
That's what you told you, son?
Yeah, I told my son that. And he's like, whatever, dad. And I'm like, yo, you know what? I do got a hero. And I had it because I was thinking about it. My mind never turns off when somebody asks me. I was like, yo, Nate the fucking great. Hey, my son is a huge fan of Nate. I fucking hate it. I don't know why. He thinks Nate is the best thing since sliced bread. He walks around the house screaming, Nate the great,
Stop playing.
So I was like, yo, Nate the great. Oh, yeah, he's great. I'm like, you don't even know this man. Shut the fuck up. I don't even want to tell you no more. So he's pushing me, but why? And I'm like, yo, Nate truly works 7 days a week. If y'all don't know, he works 7 days a week. He's in his uniform right now. This motherfucker don't complain. You ain't never heard Nate have a bad day. You ain't never called Nate, bro, fuck this life. You know what I'm saying? He never mad. He always got a smile. He go to work every day. He got a fucking pool, nice house, big truck with rims. Everybody in his house on a motherfucking car that he done bought. I'm like, yo, this is my hero. Me, if I wake up and my mouth is dry, man, fuck work. I ain't going to work this puss-ass mouth. I'm thirsty as a leprechaun. Then I drink a lot of water. Now my stomach hurt. Then I got to pee, and I pee on my shorts a little bit, and I got to change my outfit. I'll be like, man, fuck today. It's going to be a bad day. Then I call one of you motherfuckers. Dog, you believe the water wasn't as cold as it should have been? I think my refrigerator broke in it. Yeah, I'm just so angry the whole day.
You are.
So I look up to Nate, man. Like, how do you go to work 7 days a week, bro?
Got to take care of the bills, man. You got to take what you accumulated, what you piled up till you get rid of it, man. Then when you get rid of it, everything get back smooth.
Listen to this response. Mine would have been, because I'm fucking broke, bro. God dealt me a bad hand. My mom was a piece of shit. My fucking lady's a fucking ugly photo face. She don't help. My kids aren't appreciative. My stupid ass son. Baba, I would have had all these motherfucking excuses on why I had to do this. Motherfucker's like, I got some bills and I did it to myself, so I'm going to go ahead and work. That's crazy. I gotta commend you, man. Shit, I know I work 4 days a week. I be home every day at 3:00, and then I complain why I'm broke. I'm a typical American. I be like, damn, broke as fuck. I can't pay shit. I blame everybody else, but the fact that I go home early every day. How many days a week you work?
I work 6 days a week, brother.
What hours?
Well, I make my own hours, but more than likely I work. I mean, what do you consider work? I wake up, I'm working.
He's one of those.
Well,
Everything he does is work.
Hold on. When you own your own business, right? As you know, when you wake up in the morning, what's the first thing, right?
I
Your
fucking
head
take a shit.
No. Your head is already spinning and you're thinking about your day, what needs to get done.
But that's not work because he's thinking about driving to work. Does that mean he's working?
No. That's not what I'm saying. You're already evaluating what your day is going to look like.
Yeah,
as
but
soon as you wake up.
You're
Hold on.
skipping the nuances of the morning. What's the first thing you do when you get up?
Definitely take a shit.
So you're not working. You're probably scrolling through Instagram or Facebook. You know, you're probably playing a video game. I sit on the toilet and play a game. Then I take a shower. Like I got a morning routine.
He's not thinking about work. He's not thinking about packages to deliver. I'm thinking.
How do you know? Did you ask him?
I'm positive.
When you wake up, do you think about getting to work and doing what you got to do?
No. Is he thinking about packages? Is he thinking about Ron, he has to see at
Don't
2
disrespect
o'clock?
me. He's not a package dropper offer.
I graduated from that.
That's right. He's
Yo,
great.
My man got his CDL. Charleston White. Damn, bro. You hurt the shit out of the big claws you got in your fucking head. He scratched my knee, you big long arm motherfucker. We on the other side of the room.
Like,
How do you just punch me in the knee, bro? Fucking come in. Yo, he just wow, man. No, but yo, Charleston White said it good, right? He goes, we worship celebrities, right? Oh no, I was reading the comment. Let me tell you about this. I was reading the comment. Y'all seen that new show, Love and Lockup?
Yes.
Oh,
It's not new, but go ahead.
but the season 6 is popping right now.
Yeah,
With the skinny dude and the 2 catfish bitches.
I
Right? The one I sent y'all said she catfished him.
Oh shit, yeah, I see that.
Right? So dude rapping now, right? Yo, one of the comments said, you should go get your CDL. Ah! And I thought about Nate. I was like, yo, my dog got a CDL and went and bought a house with a pool. So he making some paper, dog. But don't disrespect my dog. He an official CDL driver.
Oh,
So when you say he think about packages, no, motherfucker. He think about pre-trip inspections. No, he don't drop no box off. That's for the peons. Them non-CDL. My dog certified.
I work from 9 to 5, sir. If you want to work schedule.
There you go.
I work 9 to 5. What's your point about my work?
I was just asking when you work. There was, I don't know, no criticism. Good.
Okay. And you work what? You work 6 days a week also, correct?
You know what?
No, actually, no, you don't.
So I truly work, right? I wake up and I shit, I fucking shower, I have my little girly routine. I put Rogaine so I don't go bald. I brush my teeth, I like a peroxide, I play my game. I don't truly turn on till about, if it's an auction day, 6. If it's a non-auction day, 7:30.
So what's your schedule?
So auction day, 6 a.m. to 4.
You're 6 to 4 every day.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. And Monday through Friday?
Yeah. Saturday, I don't do shit. Sunday, I don't do shit.
So you're a Monday through Friday guy.
Yeah. Well, Monday through Thursday, because Friday, I'm dead. I'm dead. I don't fuck Friday. Friday's if I feel like it day. You know, I knew if I put in more work, I'd be more successful. And you tell me this all the time. If I did more on TikTok and sold more shit on TikTok Shop, and brother, I'm a bum.
Oh, that's the real answer.
Yeah, I'm a bum. You know, I'm telling you, I reevaluated my life.
So you're lazy?
Wow.
Yo, bum me and what?
Yeah.
Lazy?
I'm
What does that
lazy.
mean?
Yo, my favorite part of the day is
Nap.
I got no, fuck. I hate the nap. It hurts me.
I'm glad you say that because you know you used to just saying it don't work, it don't work, it don't work. But you know,
I'm a
you
bum.
was lying.
Look, I my favorite part of the day, I go home, right? And I got the same yellow and blue shorts. I strip naked and I just leave my clothes where I started. Right? If this by the door, it's in the kitchen, that's where the fuck they stay.
Mhm.
And I go put on my little pissy, stank, booty shit stained shorts.
Yeah.
I sit on the couch with my shirt off like this. I turn on whatever TV show. I got a pack of little bites right here. Pepsi right here. Crumbs on my chest there. You know what I'm saying? That's the best part of my day, though. I look forward to that. I keep myself active so I don't die or I don't go down the rabbit hole of bullshit. But I'm a bum. I don't like working. I look at you and I be mad at you, be like, fucking making me look like less of a man. This motherfucker went to work on a Sunday, did a podcast in the morning, went to work on a Sunday, then picked up pizza on the way home,
You know
taught
what
his
I'm
son how to
saying?
catch a ball. I be like, man, fuck you, bro. I told my son, grab your iPad and go chill in the room. This motherfucker Nate in the backyard at 10:30 at night playing catch after he worked a 14-hour shift and bought pizza. You crazy.
Oh man.
No, I'm lazy, though. But yeah, 10 to 4, I go home, take a nap, then I go fight. I like fighting.
Yeah, you know, you don't actually work till 4 o'clock. You're out of there by 2:45.
You ain't lying. 4 o'clock. You ain't lying. I tell myself, I be telling customers, hey, I'll be there till 4. And then they be like, hey, we're here. Oh, man, I left 4 minutes ago.
The salesman's
I'd be
there.
like, yeah, I got a sales guy now. It's nice. I don't know why you don't got a sales guy yet.
I don't have a sales guy. Part of it is what you say. You don't trust somebody, right?
Yeah,
It's-
stealing
it's,
is big.
it's really hard to trust someone, and especially if you have a business, because their problems are your problems.
Mhm.
I've had employees, and at the end of the day, whatever they got going on in your life is integrated into your business.
You know
It's
what
just
happens
it
when you're a
is.
small business and we're struggling at my lot? You become friends. And then they talk to you crazy. And then they think they can do certain shit. Like my guy leaves when he feels like it. Oh, it's slow. I left.
Oh
What?
no!
What? And I'm taking this day off. What? Where's your 2 weeks notice, brother? Did you put that in writing? Did you submit that to HR? Nah,
See-
you just do it.
You see, when I was a manager, our relationship, I've told you this before, is based on the work relationship.
But what did you manage?
I ran a McDonald's.
You
At
know-
19 years old, I was a GM. My first job was McDonald's at 15. By the time I was 19, I was the GM. I ran 52 employees. It was a $2.1
So
million
to be
store.
fair, right?
Mhm.
The level of employee you had to deal with
It's
was,
crappy, shitty,
was astronomically
but it's
difficult.
still the same problems.
It's not.
It is.
It's not.
It is. Okay, so you managed the business, right?
Correct.
And what was the numbers on your business that you managed?
I had 200 employees at the moving company.
Mhm.
Shit show.
They were all under you?
Yeah.
So if it was a shit show and they're all under you, that means your leadership was crap, right?
No, it's just that kind of job equates to a level of employee. You're not going to be a mover, right? You're just not. You're going to get the guy who can't go nowhere. You know what I'm saying? Like it's lower than McDonald's. The money's better, but he knows hardest job in the world.
Wait. You're saying the level of
Definitely
people is
hard.
lower than McDonald's? Because when I ran a McDonald's, you deal with anybody from, the young kids that are transitioning, going to school, getting to college, that kind of thing, in high school, whatever it is. So you got young kids, and then you got older people that are less fortunate, that for whatever reason, this is their second job, third job. Maybe they close for you. Maybe they only work a couple hours, or it's someone's main job. Usually when it's someone's main job, they're not reliable. They're not dependable. Blasey, blocky. So I dealt with the level of people working. Not only that, I dealt with the level of customer, right? Because I dealt with customers way more than you deal with customers, right?
No, you didn't.
Oh, of course. Every person that comes and orders a cheeseburger, I more than likely dealt with. You didn't deal with that person as a mover.
No, but you
directly
you
with the
di-
customers.
You didn't deal with a person. What do you mean? Yeah, we deal with them on a person. It's way more difficult.
Well, of course, you're moving their whole house. What I'm
We
saying
don't move houses.
or
We
whatever.
move lives.
Okay, Mr. Move Lives.
No, but hold on.
You
Let
move
me
lives.
elaborate on
It's
the
more
customer.
intimate.
Let me
yes.
elaborate on the customer. I mean, the employee. I had crackheads,
Me too.
alcoholics,
Me too.
rapists,
Mhm.
murderers, like hardened criminals,
Mhm.
thugs, motherfuckers who couldn't read. We didn't even have a job application.
I hired people with the halfway house directly.
But
They came out of prison. They moved by over there by Maitland. They came out of prison and they had a halfway house up the block. It was like a little hotel thing. We had like 10 people out of the halfway house.
To be fair, I've
one of
never
my
gone into a-
ex-girlfriends was from the halfway house.
Damn, that's tough.
Yeah.
Oh my God. God bless you. Love and lockup.
Love
after lockup.
after lockup.
You might
know?
as well pick one and start writing a letter.
And I will say she did put me on, ladies and gentlemen.
But let me tell you, I've never been into a McDonald's where I felt intimidated by the employee, right? I used to get calls from customers. Hey, I can't have these guys in my house. I'm scared. Nate knows. We had some.
That's because those guys are in your house, right? If those same level of employees at McDonald's were in your house, you'd feel the same way.
I don't know, but I don't go to McDonald's a lot.
Strangers in your house, you're gonna feel the same way.
Yeah, but every time I go to McDonald's, a little fat Spanish lady or a
Well,
young girl. And,
that's fair. That's fair.
I got fucking.
It's not Nate the Great over here moving your couch.
Yeah. I got a guy who had a job. He had money over bitches tattooed on his neck and he couldn't read. I'm like, that's the level of people we had.
I
18
understand.
teardrops. You're like, damn. Then I had Louis the fucking alcoholic walking there with a beer, smelling like beer. Yo, we have people throwing mattresses over the 4th floor railings. Like, yo, when I'm telling you, my employees were wild, and I had 200 of them. And then you remember, people who can afford moves, not all the time, most of the time, got money. So they're picky, they're bougie, they'll call you for he knows the complaints. It was fucking nuts.
Well, again, you're moving people's homes, their lives, as you say. It's a lot more to it.
Yeah, you're
than
dealing
that.
with a cheeseburger. You can replace that.
Yeah,
Yo,
but you
if
know
it's
what?
a $5,000 move, I can't give you no money
But
back.
I
boy.
will say this. I will say this. People get emotional when it comes to fast food. Whatever's going on in their day, they'll bring it with them. So I've had some serious cases where people really flipped out over whatever the case may be, a wrong order. People have gone nuts, and you've seen people go back into fast food restaurants and throw stuff at the employees on the internet and fight them. You don't really see that with moving companies.
You're
right?
crazy. People don't pay. I'm talking a $5,000 bill. Ran off with the plug twice.
So what happens when people don't pay?
Bro,
You go back and take their stuff out?
you can try. You've lost. If you unlock that door and they don't pay you, you lost. The law is not on your side.
What do you mean if you unlock the door?
So the way it works, I pull up to your house with a truck.
uh-huh.
I fill it up.
Mhm.
And the next stop,
Is the new house.
you got to pay me before I take anything off.
Correct.
And if you don't, then you can dictate what you pay. But you got to be careful too, right? Because this happens. People hire movers to get all their junk out of the house, and then they drive away. And you're like, yo, where you going? They don't want none of that shit. And you just empty their house for free.
People have done that.
Hell yeah. So I had really good movers, right? Like
And how can you see that coming?
yo, you walk in there and it's all junk. You're like, nah, there's no way, bro. This junk, dog. Like you.
Oh,
when you walk in, you're
being
like,
experienced enough, you know,
yeah,
wait a minute.
you know,
They just got us to throw the trash away.
yeah, you be like, nah, bro, he ain't got nothing of value here. I'm straight.
So what happens there? You tell your
We
guy.
tell them we're not doing a move. And we drive off. You get a bad review. It is what it is.
But so that's how you determine if they're full of shit or not.
Yeah.
And how many of those did you win through before you figured that out?
Oh, I've never had one. I took over a company. So it was in existence. A lot of movers have been there. But, you know, we were talking about loving employee. Me and Nate both worked at Pepsi. For the most part, people were very reliable, right?
Yep.
When you're making $70,000 a year, they don't got to tell you things twice.
Mm-hmm.
You're not wanting to get fired.
Okay.
You know, how many days did you call off? I've never called off.
Yeah, never.
I don't know too many people who used to take a lot of days off. You? Nah.
Well,
the same
obviously-
driver. Everybody been there 20 plus years. So when we talk about level of employee,
Well, obviously, the more you pay your employees, the better level of employee you're gonna have.
easier
That's
to manage it
facts,
is.
of course.
yeah.
So, I mean, what's your point? Because I manage a McDonald's. You were trying to criticize the fact that I manage that level of employee, but we manage the same level of
Oh
employee.
no, 100%. I did worse. I think I was worse.
Yeah,
Yeah, I was
your
worse.
level of employee was worse.
Yeah.
Because at least I had Karen who worked during the day and just helped me work that night a couple nights a week, and she was
Yeah.
dependable, reliable. I didn't have, I had a few Johnnies with some face
I had
tattoos.
Rashid who pulled out a knife on me because I fired him. You know, like I had motherfuckers knock all my shit off the desk, and it was a funky time.
You didn't get down
Nah,
one on one with the.
you lose your job. I'm making
You
I'm making 150 grand a year. What the fuck I'm gonna do?
Ah, they want to give up the
Yeah,
job.
yeah.
But nobody stepped to you that way anyway, right? Did they?
Yeah,
People, yeah.
yeah. I had to call the cops on a guy.
For what?
He knocked all the shit off my desk and pulled out a knife.
What'd you do?
I called the cops.
What would you do now? Same thing?
Yeah,
Mm,
I'm not gonna tussle with you, man. At my dealership, I don't know. You talk shit, but you don't want to really do nothing.
Hell nah. Consequences is real.
Yeah, that shit. Fuck that.
That's why I carry a pistol at my location in case you do pull out a knife. I have an option.
But you know what? That's the worst because you're gonna go to jail
Who?
You.
For what?
for shooting.
No, I won't.
100%.
If he has a knife,
It doesn't matter. You gotta beat that.
I can beat that.
Not there. You're gonna go to jail. You
In
gotta bond out.
Florida, yeah, that's fine. I won't beat the ride,
Yeah,
but
Josh,
I'll beat the case.
It's gonna cost you 100 grand.
I'll beat the case.
I know,
No, it depends on who. If he's in my property, again, Florida has a lot of laws
Listen,
to help people.
I'm watching
We've
this
been
new
through
show
this.
called Accused, and motherfuckers are going to jail. Dude driving in his truck on the highway in Broward County, right? 2 motorcyclists cut him off. They pin him in at the light. There's video surveillance. The motherfucker jumps off the motorcycle, bangs on the window. There's video. Opens the guy's door. The guy busts him. Bam! Cost him $80,000 in his business to beat the case.
Is he alive? I mean, is he? Did he go? Did he go to jail?
Yeah.
No, I'm saying, did they convict him of murder?
No, he beat the case, but he had to hire a lawyer. He had a bond. His bond was 120 grand. He had to put up his house.
No, the only problem.
You know what I'm saying? Like
Like he went through it. I get it, but he still beat the case.
I know. I'm
what's
not saying you're not going to beat the case, But the amount of money, time,
The
stress,
process. But I believe him going through
and
it,
if he's black, you're gonna lose your business.
that particular person going through it is going to help me, because now there's case law where, hey, you're wasting your time if you're the district attorney coming after me, because Joe did it in Brevard County 6 months ago and you guys wasted his time.
You first you got to pay lawyers $50,000.
You got to do pay lawyer.
Then you got to bond out of jail $15,000.
Hey, I'd rather it cost me money than cost my life. So I will shoot you if you got a knife. Yes, every single time.
I'm not saying that.
I'll worry about the case later.
I was watching. I was like, yo, they should give him some money back. You should get something back.
Oh, I'm sure he can sue them for malicious prosecution.
Yeah, maybe. I don't think you're gonna beat the state though.
I mean, if you went this far, you have a case.
Maybe, who knows? I don't.
That's the thing about lawsuits. Like, you can't actually, like, if you have criminal charges and you're trying to sue someone, those criminal charges have to be dismissed first.
I take the path of least resistance. But we're gonna go ahead and wrap this up. It's 8 o'clock,
Wrap
guys.
it
We
up,
gotta go.
sir.
Nate gotta go do his pre-trip inspection. He don't gotta check no fucking boxes.
Gotta drop off some packages.
Any final thoughts?
Go Bears.
Go Bears. Till next time, like, subscribe, share, support us. We're gonna be here for a while. It's not a short game, it's a long game.